Hey everybody, welcome. My name's Alec. Thanks for clicking through to this video to see what I have to say. It is extremely important information, and it is my mission right now to get this information out to as many people as possible. Right now we're applying it to love, relationships, manifesting a partner specifically, but once you start to master this, you can really apply it to just about anything you want to create in your life. So this is a very powerful tool. I'm going to read from my notes a little bit because I want to make sure that I'm getting all this information across to you. So here we go. I used this simple trick to manifest some really amazing changes in my life, including my life partner and our sweet little baby girl. First, I want to give credit to one of my favorite law of attraction teachers, whose name is Bob Proctor. Highly recommend checking out him and his material. He's been teaching this stuff for a really long time and has created an absolute library of information on how to manifest the life that you are seeking. This is an adaptation of one of the techniques that I learned from him, and what I did was I chose very specific language that was engineered to create this specific result. Okay, so before I share this trick, I want to share what happened in my life when I started doing this. I was really not in a great spot. In fact, I was struggling pretty hard. I was heartbroken and I was broke. I had a pretty rough separation from my ex-fiance. I was deeply in credit card debt. I had some jobs that really weren't paying me enough to get by or making any savings, let alone pay off this big growing credit card debt. It felt pretty hopeless. It was like it was. I mean, I felt really really lost and confused. Didn't know where I was going to go and how I was going to get out of that situation. I felt trapped. I knew that I had to really make a change to get out of this situation and to start to feel like I was making some progress. And I was like, you know what? Like, if I could just meet my life partner and figure out how to create a lot of money, all my problems would be solved. Right? That's what we want. That's what so many people struggle with is finding a loving relationship and then really being able to create financial abundance. So I set about trying to figure out how to do this. And there's actually really a wealth of information on both of these subjects, and I found there's also a lot of crossover. So knowing that I had to make this change, I started crafting a new vision for how I wanted my life to look. I recommitted to showing up with a positive attitude, and I also committed to forgiving myself and finding new love. Around this time, I was looking for a new home in a city that was an international art hub on the west coast of the United States of America. That was close to the mountains and on the ocean, and the weather was nice and warm. And I didn't want to pay rent. I figured while I was manifesting things, I might as well go ahead and ask for that, because I knew that the monthly cost of rent was really setting me back in my financial progress. I figured if I could just get that out of the way, I would really be able to start making more headway. So, amazingly, thank God, all of these conditions came into my life really rather swiftly. I met my new partner, who is now my wife, Emily, and as soon as we met, I knew that it was her, and thankfully, she felt the same way about me. We almost immediately started making plans for the future and building our new life together. We were really on the same page with a lot of things. You could say that our missions were in alignment. After this happened, she told me that we could go and stay at this place in Santa Monica. Her grandparents had bought an entire apartment complex way back in the 60s in Santa Monica, and we could stay in one of these cute little beach bungalows, and guess what? Without paying rent. So that manifestation came true, and I found that place by the beach close to the mountains in the International Art Hub, where the weather was nice and warm on the west coast of the United States, and I didn't have to pay rent. Cool, right? I thought so, and was like, wow, I need to double down on these techniques, these manifestation techniques, because if this can come true so quickly, then imagine what the possibilities are. So, now what we're doing is we're both working from home, we're building our own businesses. We've attracted way more money this year than I've ever had in my life. It feels amazing, and it's continuing to grow all the time. And this is one of the most important things that I have to share about the law of attraction, is that it's good to have some specificity, but you don't want to get too tied down in exactly how your manifestation is going to come in. Because what that actually does is it limits the potential. The potential of our subconscious minds and the force of infinite intelligence is behind our manifestations once we truly put them out into the universe in the proper way. And getting tied into how exactly those things are going to come about basically puts our conscious mind into what it's so good at doing, which is identifying, discovering limitations. Conscious mind can be very limiting because it's rational and it's logical, and it's designed really in a lot of ways to keep us safe. Unfortunately, one of the side effects of this is that we're constantly holding ourselves back from things that we don't believe are safe or possible. So, I want you to simply focus on the outcome that you are creating and allow the details to fill in divine order with divine timing. That's a partial quote from another one of my favorite law of attraction teachers, Dr. Joseph Murphy, and he likes to talk about things coming in divine order with divine timing. So, I recently paid off all of my credit card debt, and if I had been preoccupied with exactly how each one of those dollars was going to come in, it probably would have taken me way longer. It certainly would have, the way that I was doing it. Instead, I put the intention out into the universe, and I allowed the details to fill themselves in the necessary way, as I said, in divine order with divine timing. It works every time. But there's a trick. This trick is your subconscious mind. You can create anything that you desire as long as it is in alignment with your subconscious beliefs about yourself and how the world works. The tricky thing about this is that these subconscious beliefs were oftentimes developed between the ages of 0 and 7. And if we don't take intentional, logical steps to change them, we're basically going to continue living our lives as though these beliefs are true that we picked up during our childhood. And this is why our parents, our family, and the place that we grew up in still continues to affect the results that we get and also what we believe is true about the world around us. Thankfully, we can change these beliefs. So, for instance, if you have a subconscious or a conscious belief that love will always lead to pain or heartbreak, you are always going to be subconsciously or consciously sabotaging yourself and your new love connections because you believe that love is going to lead to pain. And our minds are designed to lead us towards safety and or pleasure and away from pain. So again, if that association with love is connected to pain, you're always going to have some part of you that is trying to steer you away from that danger. Okay? So we need to change this belief. And so no matter how much you tell yourself that you want a partnership, you will continue to self-sabotage if you don't deal with your underlying beliefs about yourself and about love. The same principle applies to all important areas of life. So health and relationships, career and finance, everything. It all has to do with our subconscious beliefs about how these things work, who we are, and what we deserve in this lifetime. So, this may not be news to you, and in fact, if you found this page, it's probably because you have already been interested in this subject for a while, and you're simply looking for techniques that work. So, let me get to the point. There are a number of different ways to change your subconscious beliefs. One of the main ones is through traumatic experience. But we're going to go ahead and skip that step. Instead, we're going to use one of my favorite techniques. The ones that I've been using the most recently and the most often are hypnosis and repetition. For the sake of this one-page training, we're going to stick to the repetition. So, this is the exact trick that I used shortly before attracting my partner Emily into my life. Here it is. Get your manifestation journal or some 3x5 manifestation cards. That's step 1. Step 2, write on those cards, I am so happy and grateful that I'm living in harmony with my divine partner. Again, I am so happy and grateful that I am living in harmony with my divine partner. There you go. Attention. The energy that you do this with will determine whether or not it actually works. And this is the trick with the law of attraction that many people get wrong. Is if you are stuck in a continuous scarcity or fear vibration in regards to anything that you're trying to manifest, you'll be blocking, you'll be sabotaging your success and actually successfully bringing these circumstances into your reality. It works every time. It works every time. So this is why it becomes really hard to actually manifest something that's way outside of your existing paradigm, your subconscious beliefs about yourself. For instance, if you're living in a continuous scarcity mode and basically sending that vibration out, sending those messages out day in, day out into the universe, it's going to be very hard, if not impossible, to manifest a large amount of money. Because your vibration is not in alignment with that vibration of financial abundance. Okay? Same is true with love. So I want you to take in this information and repeat it to yourself as much as possible. You and your divine partner are being magnetically drawn towards each other right now. You are closer than you have ever been before. You'll be drawn together soon. This will happen in divine order with divine timing. Have faith that it is so, and enjoy the journey. Falling in love is one of the most beautiful, joyful experiences that we get to have as humans. And if we choose to, we can do it over and over again, with the same person, or with different people, or with both. I still read that statement regularly. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm living in harmony with my divine partner. I still read it regularly because I want it to continue to be true. And I'm choosing for that reality to continue to manifest in my experience, and it is. So thank you for watching today, and I'll see you soon. Peace.